The Toronto Raptors have really fallen off ever since they lost Kawhi Leonard after winning the NBA championship back in 2019. They've been mid or bad pretty much every season since then, and they've only won one playoff series. And I'm gonna be honest, I've watched a total of 0 Raptors games this season, so I called up my friend who's a Raptors fan to give me more information on this team and help me out with this rebuild.
So lately, the Raptors have made trades this season. We've had an interesting season. We made some trades. We ended the Pistons losing streak. And we were ass. That's all there is to ass. So before we had Scotty and Pascal, they were pretty good together, but as you can see, when we lost to the Pistons, something needed to happen. This team wasn't working. So they decided to take Scotty Barnes route, and they traded Pascal to see what's it called? Pacers. So now this team is literally Scotty. It's all him. So with the Knicks trade, he got some help. He got RJ and he got Quickly. And that trio has been really good so far. Poeltl on our team, he's a good center, but Raptors, it's lacking much shooting potential. So we need more shooters. We need to invest in a fast center. That's what Raptors need right now. I feel like we need someone really good to help Scotty, and then we need a good bench. Because if you look at our bench right now, there's not really any names that you can think of.
So I'm hearing Raptors basically need shooting, depth, and probably a second option for Scotty.
Basically, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for helping me know more about the Raptors. I will definitely keep a lot of this in mind and try to build them off of what you've told me. So our player we're going to be building around for this video is Scotty Barnes, who had a pretty solid season last year. And like he mentioned, Quickly and Barrett are also some players to build around. And we're going to see what we can get for Kelly Olynyk, because he is 33 years old. And I think it would be better for both sides if we can just move on and hopefully get some picks in return. And we're going to do this trade with the 76ers. It looks like they're actually giving us our own first round pick back for Olynyk. So we now have our pick back next year, and then we've got it for every year after that, it looks like. And we do have a couple of future first round picks from the Pacers, but other than that, this is just all us. And we're going to go ahead and see what we can get for Poeltl. I just don't think he's really going to fit this team going forward. And I really like this trade, getting 2 future first round picks for Poeltl. I think that is a great deal for both us and the Thunder. And so now we're going to get into the 2024 NBA draft, where we do not have a lottery pick, but we do have a mid first round pick. So let's see, we could get TikTok Boy. We could get Isaiah Collier, who I think kind of fell off. He was expected to be better than he ended up being. We've got Mark Sears from Alabama with an Allen Iverson ceiling. Seems like a very good passer, and he can score a little bit. This might be my pick here, honestly, even though I'm not sure if point guard is our biggest need. And I think with this pick, we're kind of going to go for upside here and take a chance on Mark Sears out of Alabama and hope he develops well, since he has a high potential. And it looks like this guy's only going to come in at a 70 overall, so we may have missed on that one, but I kind of just wanted to take a chance on the potential. We are going to decline the team option on Bruce Brown for sure. I think I'm just going to decline it on Abaji as well. And we're going to take a chance on Mo Bamba here, probably give him a team option. Since we traded away a lot of our centers, I'm just going to go ahead and get him. So we're also going to make some offers to some of these small forwards that are restricted free agents, like Saddiq Bey and Isaac Okoro. So it looks like both of them agree. Since Okoro's younger and he seems to be a better three-point shooter, I'm going to choose him over Saddiq Bey. And the Cavs match that, fortunately. So we will bring back Emmanuel Quickly. And that actually seemed like a pretty reasonable deal, so we will definitely take him on that contract. So let's come back to Saddiq Bey and see if we can bring him in. And the biggest thing in player progression is Scotty Barnes went up to an 87. So this seems to be a pretty common trend in these videos. Luka Doncic won MVP, and here's a quick look at the other awards. And we do get Mark Sears on the all-rookie second team. We actually had a surprisingly good year in year one. We made the play-in game and won 46 games in a year that I thought we would be tanking. And Utah is also a play-in team, so that'll be something to keep in mind for draft pick purposes. So quickly actually led us in scoring with Barrett and Barnes behind him. And here's a look at everyone else's. I'm noticing a lot of guys are not shooting very efficiently here, so that's something to keep in mind as we continue with this rebuild. For the play-in game, I just want our best players playing as much as possible, so that's going to be our rotation, and we will see how we do against the Bucks. And this one is coming down to the wire, but it looks like we pull away at the end and win. Quickly drops 44 points in this one, and Giannis did what he could, but I guess Emmanuel quickly was too good. And look at this, we're playing the Pacers, and funny enough, it looks like they don't have Siakam anymore, but they're who we made a trade with. Let's see how we do against Indiana in round one. They take game one. We take game two. Could we pull the upset? They go up 2-1. And we actually tie it up. They go up 3-2. Let's simcast the last game. Well, could be the last game. Hopefully not. And we got off to a good start, but they're making a comeback. We retook the lead. This game's coming down to the wire, and it looks like they are able to avoid the first round upset. Scotty Barnes had a really good playoff run. Quickly wasn't quite as good as he was in the play-in game, and RJ Barrett was also very good in these playoffs. So the team that beat us made it all the way to the finals, and they're going to be playing the Mavericks, and the Mavericks beat them. So let's get into the draft lottery here. We do have 2 potential lottery picks, so we will see how those land. And I guess the Heat got to keep their pick in this, so that's unfortunate, but we do get the 11th pick. So we've got 11 and 19 in this draft. We could definitely use those to trade up if we want to. But let's get into the 2025 NBA draft. So with the 11th pick in this draft, we are going to address our biggest need and take Floyd Badunga. He looks like an incredible defensive player and a really good athlete. I think if he develops well, he could be the perfect center for this team. So the Magic are on the clock next, and we're going to offer them our pick this year at 19 and this future Indiana pick from next year that's top 3 protected. And they will decline. Maybe you like second round picks. Maybe you like 2 second round picks. They do. Perfect. So with this pick, I'm having a really hard time deciding between these 2 shooting guards. I think they would both be really good fits with our team. After thinking about it for a while, I think I'm going to go with Ian Jackson. I think he might have a little bit more potential, but both of those guys are really good. And I think Ian Jackson, if he develops, he could be a really good player. I'm not sure where he's going to fit in right away. He might be our 6th man or come off the bench for a while, but I really do think he could be a good player for us in the future. So I am curious to see this. Ian Jackson came in at a 76 overall. The other shooting guard I considered was also a 76 overall, so really couldn't have went wrong either way. It just comes down to how they develop, but hopefully these guys can develop well for the future of this team. We're going to make an offer to Naz Reid here, and I really like these 2+1 team option deals, and if it doesn't work out, we can obviously just decline the team option. So Naz Reid does agree to a deal. Alright, so now we can offer to Scotty, and we will just go ahead and give him that deal. And Scotty Barnes accepts, and now we are back to having little cap space. And we're going to make an offer to Markelle Fultz to compete for the backup point guard spot, and he will accept. Scotty Barnes goes up to a 90, you love to see that. RJ Barrett goes to an 84, and these 2 guys are at an 83. Sadiq Bey to an 81. Grady goes up to an 80, And Mark Sears actually goes all the way up to a 74, so it'll be interesting to see who we choose to play between him and Fultz. So here's the lineup we're going to run to start off Season 2 of this rebuild. So here on January 1st, we are 20-14, which is actually a little below where I thought we'd be. So Scotty's leading us in scoring. He's having a really good season. And behind him here is everyone else. And if we look in team stats, this is really interesting. We have one of the worst offenses, bottom 10 offense in the NBA, but we have the second best defense. And I think I am going to try starting Ian Jackson. So here at the trade deadline, we are 32-19, and I think moving Ian to the starting lineup has helped us out. So Shea won MVP this year. Ace Bailey won Rookie of the Year over our guy Ian. Ian Jackson makes the All-Rookie First Team. This is a really good rookie year for him. And we also get Floyd on the All-Rookie Second Team. And we finished the year as the 3 seed with 49 wins, so actually only a 3-win improvement, but we go all the way up to the 3rd seed in the conference. We are playing the Sixers in round 1, and here's a look at their team. They have Josh Giddey. That's actually really interesting. We take game 1, we take game 2, we take game 3, they take game 4, and we move on to the second round. We are going to be playing the Cleveland Cavs, and they've got a really good team. They are probably going to be expected to beat us here, but we will see how we do. They win game 1, we take game 2, we go up 2-1, okay, we go up 3-1, they win game 5, are we going to blow a 3-1 lead here? Come on, don't do that to me. Looking good in this one so far. Oh, we nearly blew it at the end there, but we are going on to the conference finals, and I would honestly call this an upset. I think most people would have picked Cleveland to win that, but now we have Detroit in the conference finals here, and they might have done a better job at rebuilding this team than I did, and we'll see if we can beat them. Let's see. Game 1 goes to Detroit. Game 2 goes to Detroit. They go up 3-0. Hey, at least we won one. Showing some fight. And they beat us. That's just a better team than us. But I am really happy with the conference finals run. And let's see if Detroit can actually win the finals in this. Nope, they get swept. We've seen that before. We have picks 16 and 23 in this draft. So not as high as I was hoping for. But there's a chance we can make some trades up. So we're going to try to make a trade up with the Nuggets here. And so they want both first round picks and a second. I will definitely do that to guarantee we get the guy I want. And another year, another 12th pick. This guy is a 6'8" point guard out of UCLA. And it looks like he can shoot, he can score inside, he can play make, and he has A- potential. I think he could develop into a really good player potentially, and I'm going to take a chance on him. So we're going to decline the team option on Sadiq Bey. I don't think he's lived up to his contract with us. I kind of want to just put these two in the trade finder and see what comes up. So I did get Trae Young in the Spurs rebuild, but I actually think this trade could make us better. We would also be getting Grant Williams, who I'm not too interested in, but I think he's kind of included in there for salary reasons. And I think this is a trade that could really take us to the next level. Trae Young is on a 1-year deal, so if it doesn't work out, we can just move on from him and we'll have a lot of cap space. He'll be our scorer next to Scotty Barnes because this team really doesn't have a #1 scorer on it. And I think it's possible that Trae Young could be the missing piece for this team. So if we don't take Grant Williams, I think we would have more cap space. And he's honestly not someone I want. So we'll try this. Okay. Would I rather have him or not have him? That's what I'm trying to figure out. So I think I would like to do this trade without Grant Williams. So we agree to the trade, we get Trae Young, we don't get Grant Williams, and now we really have that second option to Scotty Barnes, but really he's going to be probably the first option on this team. And he's just going to be our offense guy. We're going to hide him on defense because the rest of this team are great defenders. So we're going to make an offer to Derek Jones Jr., probably a 2-year deal for him. And then we are going to try to get Nick Richards to come in as a backup center. We're also going to offer to Jonathan Isaac because it seems like we can actually get him for pretty cheap. And he had a pretty good season last year. So let's see. I'm not sure if it'll let me sign all 3 guys, but we will renounce the rights on both of those 2. I guess let's just see what 2K says about this. So let's make sure that all 3 of them will fit in the salary cap. Okay. I probably would have preferred to sign Derek Jones. Okay. So it decided we can only sign Nick Richards. That's unfortunate. Of the 3, he would probably be who I wanted the least. Well, thanks for that, 2K. So at this point, I think it makes the most sense to actually re-sign Sadiq Bey. So now we're going to trade our 2 backup point guards from last season for Patrick Williams and a 2nd-round pick because we drafted a point guard and we traded for Trae Young, so we don't really need these guys anymore. So let's go ahead and make that trade with them. And our top guys stay the same. Grady goes up. Ian Jackson goes up to an 80 overall. Patrick Williams also goes up to an 80. And Floyd also, well, he goes up to a 79 according to the overall tab. So we did get some good news here in this stage. And I think this team is in a pretty good spot. We'll see if Trae Young was the missing piece to get this team to the NBA Finals. So this is going to be our rotation for year 3 of this rebuild. And actually, I think Grady's going to be our 6th man. So let's see how we do. A lot of new faces on this team. We will simulate to January 1st. So here at January 1st, we are 23-12. We are in the race for the first seed. Trae Young is leading us in scoring. He has a double-double. RJ behind him, and Scotty Barnes is only averaging 12.9 points per game this year. That's really interesting. I thought he would be our 2nd leading scorer, but he's all the way in 4th. Here's how Floyd's doing in his first year as a starter. Not bad for him. And our 1st-round pick, these are actually really good numbers for a bench player. Per 36, this would be a really good season, actually. So here at the trade deadline, we are 34-17, and basically the same thing as before, just in a race for that number 1 seed. So Tyrese Halliburton wins MVP. AJ wins Rookie of the Year for the Hawks. They actually were kind of a surprise team after trading Trae Young. And it looks like we do get Trae Young on All-NBA 3rd team, so that's fun to see. We do get Ellis on the All-Rookie 2nd team, and this is just a really good rookie year, honestly. He could definitely be the point guard of the future, but it looks like we did make it to the 2nd seed behind the Pacers in 1, so we could have a rematch with the Cavs in round 2. Let's go ahead and simulate the play-in. We're going to be playing Detroit. We played these guys in the conference finals last year, and it would appear that they've lost some pieces maybe, but this is still a really good team. They definitely might beat us, I'm not gonna lie. Pistons beat us pretty easily last year. Let's see how we do against them now that we have Trae Young and some other new faces. They take game 1. We take game 2. Game 3 they take. Man, I don't know what the deal is with Trae Young, but every time I get him, he kind of chokes in the playoffs, I'm not gonna lie. So let's see if we can avoid going down 3-1. We can't. We take that game. And we have tied up this series. Hold on. Let's see if we can win Game 7 at home. Make the 3-1 comeback. Oh, it was looking good for a while. We are trying to fight back here, but I think it's going to be too late. And Trae Young actually did play good in this game, but it kind of seems like the Pistons have our number. Maybe I'm cursed from that Pistons rebuild, but let's see who wins the championship. And the Pacers are going to win it, so good for them. And we're going to have some big decisions to make in this offseason here. I am not sure what direction I want to go in. So this will be the first year we don't have a first round pick. So we have the 5th pick in the 2nd round. I'm just going to go ahead and sim to that. We'll take Keith here. Welcome to the team, Keith. So he comes in at actually a 74 overall. So that's maybe good enough to play right away, honestly. That could be a steal in the 2nd round. How much cap space are we going to have? I mean, is there actually a chance we could get Victor on this team? I mean, probably not, but if I can try, I'm going to try. We could go after Jabari Smith, but I'm not sure what I would do with Scotty. He could probably play small forward. So we have these guys as our free agents. So if I offered to Trae Young, I probably wouldn't make it for very many years. I would probably do something like this. I think we're going to throw an offer to Jabari Smith. Let's see if he'll take that. We technically got all 3 of these guys, but it's not going to let us sign all 3. Well, first of all, I think the Spurs are going to get to match right now, so we'll see if they do. And shockingly, the Spurs actually want to keep Victor. So now we have maybe the biggest decision of this entire rebuild. Do I want to sign Trae Young back to another deal, or do I want Jabari Smith? It's really going to come down to how much I trust that point guard we drafted last year. I think what I'm going to do is sign Jabari Smith Jr. I know this might be a huge risk, and I really don't know if this is the right decision, to be honest with you guys, but Trae Young, I just don't know if he's going to be good enough to win a championship with how bad he is on defense and how he really always seems to choke in the playoffs. And we kind of do need to switch some things up. We got beat by the same team in back-to-back years. I think the reason my last rebuild failed was because I was too scared to switch things up because I liked how the team was so much. So this move we're going to look at as either the reason we won a championship or possibly the reason why we didn't win a championship. But I'm going to actually choose Jabari Smith here to bring into the Toronto Raptors.
How come you don't want me, man?
And this is a lot of money to pay Grady, man. I'm not sure I want to do this. We're going to offer Wagner to be our backup center. And we're going to offer to Christian Brown to be a backup small forward and shooting guard for us. Okay, I would definitely choose Grady over him, so we're not going to do that quite yet. Do we not have... Okay, I might have screwed something up. So we're going to sign Wagner instead of Hardy, even though Hardy's a better player, because I want more options. So now we're going to make an offer to Cole Anthony to be a backup point guard for us. So we get him, and I'm pretty disappointed that we're losing Grady. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get him on the qualifying offer or not. So we're going to make a 1-year offer to Kevin Huerter as kind of our backup plan if we can't get Grady back, which I think is going to be the case, unfortunately. Okay, so we really did lose Grady. That's unfortunate. So here's a look at the team. Scotty Barnes up to a 93, Ian Jackson 84, Floyd 80, and Harrington goes up to a 78, so that's good to see. I'm probably going to start him over Cole just because I want him to get as much playing time as possible. When you choose him, when he's part of the reason you didn't bring back Trae Young, you want to start that guy. So really interesting offseason for us here. This roster is looking a lot different than it did last season, but I remembered what happened in the Pistons rebuild, and I didn't want to go down the same path of just running it back over and over again. I really don't know how this team is going to do. So this is the rotation we're going to run to start out Season 4 of this rebuild. I really don't know how this team's going to do, to be honest with y'all. I'm hoping this guy can live up to what the Per 36 says about him and improve. And we're really just looking for our young guys to get better to help replace Trae Young. I think the bench is definitely still good, maybe not quite as good as last year, but the big thing is how do our forward duo play, and then do any of the young guys take a jump. Alright, so here on January 1st, we are the first seed in the conference, and we actually have a pretty decent lead. I am very curious to see these stats. So Ian Jackson is leading us in scoring, and I wonder how much of that has to do with Trae Young not being here anymore. Ellis has had a really good year as a starter. That was pretty much exactly what I was hoping for from him. I am kind of disappointed by this season from Floyd. It looks like maybe he's not going to be the answer at center after all. Scotty playing at small forward has done very well, and I think Jabari Smith has proved to be a good signing. So this is definitely looking like the best team of the rebuild so far. I kind of wonder about trying to make a move for maybe a better backup center. So I think we are going to make this trade with the Portland Trail Blazers here. It definitely is risky, but I feel like we're upgrading at center and small forward. Sadiq Bey is technically a higher overall than Okoro, but I feel like Sadiq Bey just hasn't been efficient enough for us. I think Okoro can play some good defense and still be a good catch and shoot guy. We're definitely upgrading at backup center here. Peyton Pritchard, I'm not sure if I'm even going to play in, but you just offered me this trade. Okay, there we go. Maybe this will be what takes us to the top. So after making those moves at the trade deadline, this is what the rotation is currently looking like. And let's see how we do to end the year. So Luka Doncic won MVP this year, and here's a quick look at the other awards. And we have the most improved player. So Ellis going from a bench player to a starter. I definitely agree with this. He improved a lot. I know a lot of that was probably just playing time, but we don't get coach or executive of the year, so that's kind of disappointing. We were pretty much by far the best team in the NBA this year. Ian Jackson with a really good year. He's turned into our leading scorer. Scotty Barnes and Jabari Smith are behind him. And then Harrington with a really good year. Cole Anthony was a good sixth man for us. Then we've got the two centers here. We didn't really play Pritchard. And then we've got Patrick Williams, Kevin Huerter, and Isaac Okoro here. We're not going to be playing Detroit in round 1, so I am happy about that. We're taking on the Heat. And the Heat actually have Trae Young, so this is going to be a revenge series for him. And man, I don't know what the deal is with 2K, but this is like a top 3 seed team, and they're an 8 seed. I mean, look at this roster. This team is stacked. We might actually lose to them. Let's see how we do in game 1. We take it. We go up 2-0. We go up 3-0. And they take 1. And there we go. We're moving on to the second round. So no revenge for Trae Young there. Now we have the Celtics in round 2. And they've had a really interesting time in this rebuild. I think they got the first pick, and they drafted this guy. They've still got Jason, Jalen, and Porzingis, and a lot of the guys that are on their team in real life. So let's see how we do against them. We take game 1. We take game 2. We take game 3. And we sweep our way to the conference finals. So now we are playing the 7 seed Hawks. Interesting. So they've got a few people that used to be on our team. They've got Quickly and Grady here. How's he been? He actually had a really good year in Atlanta. I do kind of wish I brought him back. We basically replaced him with 2 players instead of 1. So I don't know. It's interesting with that move, but he's definitely been a good player for us, and now he's a good player for the Hawks. So anyways, let's get into this simulation here. So game 1 they take. Quickly is out for revenge. I think we are gonna keep things how they are for game 2, and we do win that one, but a close win. We go up 2-1. We go up 3-1. They take game 5. Let's go ahead and simcast game 6 here, see if we can get it done in Atlanta. And we're looking good. And we take down the Hawks. Ian Jackson with 48 points in this one. He has had a great playoff run, and hopefully we can get it done in the finals. And we will be playing the Thunder, who gave me a lot of trouble in the Pistons rebuild. This is a really good team, man. Remember in the first draft, I chose Ian Jackson over this guy. There were the 2 I was considering, and I chose Ian. They've got a super deep bench. They're always a super team in 2K, really. I don't know, man. It's going to be tough if we can beat them. All right, let's get into game 1 here. This is the Detroit video all over again, man. I can already tell. We're gonna take a lot of minutes away from Okoro, and we're really gonna just play our starters as much as we can, especially the big 3. And we'll give more to Ellis here. How's he been in the playoffs? Pretty good playoff run for him. Let's see if we can have a better performance in game 2. This team is so unfair. Oh my gosh, dude. This team owns me, bro. I'm owned by my own favorite team. How am I supposed to beat these guys? They go up 2-0. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Okay, we might actually win game 3. Don't blow this. Alright, maybe we can take care of business at home. Come on, boys. Alright, so we're tied at 109. I'm gonna do something different in this video. I don't want to let my gameplay and lack of knowledge of generated players' jump shots ruin this video. So I'm just going to come in and watch this game, basically. Let me know if you guys like this or or me playing the games better. I can definitely switch back in the next video, but I wanted to try it for this one. We got Shea going in on Ellis. Ellis with a stop. Gonna get it up to Ian. I might pop that if I was him. Seems like they're giving him a good amount of space. We got Scotty Barnes here. That should be a mismatch. And Scotty gets it to go. Shea with the crossover, gets it over to Jalen Williams, pops a 3. No good, rebounded by Scotty. He gets it to Scotty. And Scotty's just been posting people up, but that time he doesn't get it, but he gets the rebound. So Scotty's kind of been a mismatch for us here in this one. We got Shea in the post now, doing a fadeaway. And good defense by Ellis, man. I knew that guy was going to be a good pick. That's why I moved up for him so aggressively. I did not want to lose out on him. And we got a pick and roll for Scotty. He pops the 3. No good. Oh, man, that could have been a dagger. Got Shea going in. Good defense again, but he did get it to go that time, unfortunately for us. He's going to pass it to Harrington. Oh, what's going on? He gets it to Floyd with the dunk. Raptors back up by 4. Thunder's still in this game. Shea's going to ISO on Harrington. Now we got Jalen Williams in the post. Misses it. And they're going to have to foul us. Alright, we got Ellis at the line here. The youngin', like 20, 21 years old. He might not even be able to drink beer legally, but he sinks both free throws. We've got Chet here. Stolen! And Floyd is going to go to the line. Can our center shoot free throws? We're about to find out.
15 down.
He makes the first one. That's good. That puts us up by 7. Probably ices the game, honestly. Can he make the second one? He can. We are up by 8 points. That should just about do it for this one. And sure enough, we get the dub in game 4. Are we going to come back from 2-0 against the boogeyman of these rebuilds? Game 5 back in OKC. Strong start for the Raptors, but the Thunder come back. And we might have another close one, or we might just pull away. Hopefully we just pull away. And we have taken a 3-2 lead on the Thunder. Ian Jackson carrying the team. He drops 43 points in this one. Scotty Barnes too, not going to forget about him. We might actually beat this super team that always ruins my videos. Knock on wood. Going to game 6 back in Toronto. We have told Drake not to bet on this game. In fact, we're making him not even show up. We've banned him from the arena. Don't want any Drake curse going on. In fact, we made him wear a Shea jersey for this game. So we should be able to win here, hopefully, if the Drake curse is real. But let's see how we do. Looking good so far, but it's a close game. Tied at 83. And we have a 15-point lead with 8 minutes left. And it's looking like the Toronto Raptors are going to win their second NBA championship. And I will hop in here because we're already up 20. So I just kind of want to play with this team for a little bit. What you got? Alright, good play from him. Good play. We have taken down the Thunder. If you watch the Pistons rebuild, you know why this is such a big deal that we beat the Thunder. We have done it. Redeemed myself for my last rebuild, and the Toronto Raptors have won the NBA championship. So we have done it. We won the NBA Finals. Ian Jackson, 40 points, 12 rebounds. I think he's going to be the Finals MVP. And we were able to beat the Thunder. It looks like the move to get Jabari Smith instead of Trae Young paid off. Even though he went 2 for 12 in this game, we're just going to ignore that. We had really good drafting. We drafted Ian Jackson, we drafted Floyd, and then we drafted Ellis. I think he was the year after those two. He was 26, they were 25. And we didn't have a top 10 pick this entire video, but we made really good choices with our picks when we had them. We weren't scared to make trades up, and we weren't scared to make trades in general. A lot of the guys on this roster, besides Scotty Barnes, I don't think anyone else was here in the first roster. Everyone was either drafted or traded for or signed in like Jabari Smith's case and some of these other guys. But very successful rebuild. We came back from down 2-0 against the Thunder, and the Raptors have won the championship. Ian Jackson wins the Finals MVP. What a great series from him. He carried us to this championship. And if you look at this team, this is still a young team. They could be dominant for years to come, but this video ends after we win the first one. But you can only imagine how good this team could potentially get. But thanks for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It would really help out the channel a lot. Let me know what other teams you want to see me rebuild, any other video ideas you have, and I will see you guys in the next one.